Box joints are extremely strong and well suited for a variety of projects, including drawer boxes, cabinetry, and storage cases. 3/8-inch box joints are routed with the included Leigh No. 143-500 3/8-inch straight bit and the E10 guide bushing. The optional Leigh No. 173-500 high-speed steel or 173-500C 3/8-inch solid carbide spiral upcut bits may also be used. These optional bits are available at leighdrigs.com. Board widths are determined by the number of pins and sockets in the joint. Symmetrical joints always have an odd number of pins and sockets and start and finish with a pin or a socket. Asymmetrical joints have an even number of pins and sockets and always end with the opposite of what it started with. The quick reference strip is a handy guide to help take you through the steps of routing 3/8-inch box joints on the RTJ400. Check the board width chart on the quick reference strip to determine board sizes. Based on the approximate board width required for our project, which is 5 1/16 of an inch, our board will be symmetrical with 13 pins and sockets. Boards must be flat with square ends and edges. We're using half-inch boards, but box fronts and sides may be different thicknesses to suit your project. Remember to mark the boards to indicate the inside or the outside face of the finished piece, as well as the edge that goes against the side stop. The Leigh E10 guide bushing is used for all box joint routing on the RTJ400. Fit the E10 guide bushing to the router table or the router table insert and install it in the router table. Be sure the insert is orientated the same way every time an E-bush or bit change is made. All routing starts with the E-bush set in the number 5 position. With the power disconnected, install the 143-500 straight bit in the router. Note that with this router table setup, the E-bush was removed to install the bit. Make sure the bit spins freely within the guide bushing before reconnecting the power. With the RTJ400 on the router table, unlatch the frame and insert the right frame pin in the number 1 box joints hole and the left frame pin in the matching slot. If necessary, move the template clamp to the left and loosen the side stop and move it to the far right. Now remove the stop rod and put the short end in the 3/8-inch box joint stop set hole on the template. Move the side stop to lightly touch against the stop rod and tighten it with the hex key. Remove the stop rod and store it in the 3/4-inch slot. Clamp pinboard 1 against the side stop with the bottom edge flush on the template. Clamp a short scrap backer board firmly against the workpiece, at least a 1/16 of an inch from the board edge, to prevent it from interfering with the side stop when the frame is repositioned in the second step. Backer boards help prevent tear out and directs dust and chips away from the operator. Use a socket board to set the depth of cut. Hold the board level on the template and pencil a line across. Bit height is set by adjusting the bit until the tip is in the center of the pencil line. Bit height determines the flushness of the joint, so it's important to set the bit height properly. After setting the bit height, you will want to do a quick fit test. Remove the pin board and route 2 scrap test boards back to back in the jig at the same time. Don't concern yourself about board edge alignment. The test is for fit only. The E-bush allows for very precise fit adjustments. If the joint is too loose, turn the E-bush to a higher number. If the joint is too tight, turn the E-bush to a lower number. Remember to retighten the E-bush after each adjustment. Once you've determined the perfect E-bush setting, record the bit number and setting in the user guide and on the quick reference strip. Reinsert and center pinboard 1 and clamp it in place. Then clamp a new scrap backer board a 1/16 of an inch from the pin board. With safety gear in place, route into every template opening, making sure the guide bushing stays in contact with both sides of each template opening. Remember to keep the template perpendicular to the line on the tabletop. When routing is complete, flip the board keeping the same edge against the side stop. Secure the clamps. Once again, route into every opening, making sure the guide bushing stays in contact with both sides of each template opening. Repeat these steps for pin board 2. Once you've completed pin board 2, remove it and unlatch the frame and move the right frame pin to the number 2 position. Always remember to relatch the frame securely after repositioning it. Place socket board 1 tight against the side stop and secure the clamps. As you did with the tail boards, route in every template opening, ensuring that the guide bushing comes in contact with both sides of the openings. Unclamp the board and flip it over, keeping the same edge against the side stop. Route in each template opening. Finish routing socket board 1 and repeat the procedure for socket board 2. All boards are routed and ready for assembly. You must also check the flushness. If the joint is overflush, you will need to lower the bit. If it is underflush, you need to raise the bit. The pins and tails should be as flush as possible so that minimal sanding is required to clean up and finish the joint. You can also make half-blind box joints just as easily as half-blind dovetails with the RTJ400. Check your user guide for full detailed instructions on how to make these joints.